William B.J. Johnson versus
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ronald
good evening
Hearns.
and welcome to DeBella Entertainment and HD Net's Broadway Boxing, presented by Mohegan Sun from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Tonight's fights are promoted by DeBella Entertainment and sponsored by Turner Construction and HBO Sports. This bout is sanctioned by the Mohegan Tribal Department of Athletic Regulations, Chairman of the tribe, Mark Brown. The three judges scoring this bout from ringside, Glenn Feldman, Tommy Kazmarek, and Richard Flaherty. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Frank Cappuccino. And now, full rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he's wearing black with gold stripe. Weighing in officially at 159 pounds, his professional record consists of 1 win and 1 loss, his win coming by way of knockout. From Baltimore, Maryland, Billy the Kid Johnson. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing Kronk gold with red and blue. Weighing in officially at 159 3/4 pounds, his professional record is perfect, with 2 wins coming by way of knockout. From Detroit, Michigan, Ronald Hearns.
Good evening, gentlemen. You were both given your instructions. Both use touch gloves. Touch gloves. Good luck.
All right, Ronald Hearns, if that name sounds familiar, it's for a reason. He is the son of the great champion, Tommy Hearns. And Ronald at 2-0, ready to take on B.J. Johnson. Middleweight fight scheduled for 4 rounds.
Ronald has a very, very good frame, just like Tommy.
Okay.
Tall, slender. Let's see if he has that punching power like Tommy.
So here we go, round number 1. And I had a chance to speak to Tommy Hearns in the locker room prior to this bout, and he said that his son has a very good jab, a terrific right hand, throws the hook up top better than he did. And we know that Tommy also threw a really nice hook to the body, Steve.
Indeed, and I'll tell you, Gus, seeing a fighter with the word Hearns on his yellow trunks with red letters, it is scary because you can't help but think of the hitman.
Hearns trying to establish his jab, doubling up the jab early. Johnson seems game to fight. Ronald Hearns. Johnson from Baltimore, Maryland, 1-1. Took this fight on short notice. And he steps away with a beautiful hook, followed by a double jab.
Boy, it's interesting, Gus. You look at Ronald Hearns' body, and you know, he's actually taller than his old man, but similar body, you know, big shoulders, very skinny at the waist, very tall, long arms, but you can't make too many comparisons. It's not fair to make too many comparisons because Tommy Hearns was a tremendous amateur with a lot of experience. Ronald Hearns had 10 amateur fights. He's really a basketball player, much more than a fighter, and he's just learning now as a pro.
There's a straight right hand connecting for Ronald Hearns. Hearns continuing to stalk B.J. Johnson. Johnson jabbing to the body.
Tommy and Emmanuel Stewart say that Ronald gets a little nervous before the fights, probably from the inexperience, gets butterflies, and Tommy needs to make him relax.
And our Brian Adams is standing by with Emmanuel Stewart.
Manny, we're back here, the next generation Hearns. Give us your thoughts on how Ronald's doing.
I think he's doing very good right now. He seems to keep his balance. He's very matured and patient for a young fighter that didn't have a lot of interference. But at this point stage, he's kept his distance, put a lot of pressure on his man without overrunning his punches. So I'm very satisfied with his performance at this stage.
Okay, give me your thoughts on comparison with Ronald and Tommy at this stage of their careers.
Well, the difference is right now, Ronald's had 9 amateur fights, and Thomas Hearns had 163 amateur fights. So he had much more seasoning experience. All of this is all new to him, even just the plane ride over here. He was talking about just his legs being sore because he had never traveled too much. But I'm very impressed. He's a better all-around natural athlete, though, than his father for just general coordination.
Okay, back to the action. As you get up to the ring. Back to you guys in ringside.
All right, the end of the first round. Both fighters taking their time, and Hearns did look a little tentative. B.J. Johnson
You are looking good. Pressure fight.
having no
Everything
problems
right.
trying to use his style against the taller, longer, and leaner Ronald Hearns.
Without getting too careless. As he slows down a little bit, you're going to find him with the right hand. Okay. But I like the fact that you're mixing up left hooks in your attack also instead of just shooting straight shots, jabs, and right hand. Fighting a beautiful fight at this stage. Okay. Everything.
Tom, and he's not doubling up on his jabs. Okay? Bang him to the body. You got close to him a couple times and you didn't let him go to the body. Drop down and fire to that body with both hands. Okay? You took one of his good shots.
It's real good. Beautiful. It's really sharp. And he looks in good shape.
.33 of Hearns' 62 total punches were jabs. He landed 7 in the first round. How'd you score the first round, Steve?
It was Ronald Hearns' round. He landed one nice right hand. He's controlling the pace. And, you know, listening to Josh Hall, the trainer of B.J. Johnson, well, he tells people the same thing we always heard people tell the opponents of Tommy Hearns, which is get close and bang the body.
Johnson now circling. Hearns has been the aggressor. And there's Johnson establishing that jab to the midsection.
There's a lot of pressure on this kid, Gus, don't you think? I mean, it's not all that different from hoops. You know, if your father was a famous hoop player, we've seen it many times. A lot of pressure on Ronnie Hearns to live up to that name, and chances are pretty good that he's not going to live up to his name because his dad was one of the greatest fighters in the history of boxing.
And right now, speaking of, our Brian Adams is standing by with the champ, Thomas Hearns.
Thank you, guys. Sitting here with a true boxing legend, former 6-time world champion Tommy Hearns. Now giving that tutelage to his son, Ronald Hearns. Tommy, any nervousness over here?
No, it's no nervous. It's just I'm just looking for him to do certain things. And it's really not coming together right now.
So you're not too satisfied with his performance thus far?
I guess I want too much. I'm used to seeing doing too much, and I want my son to do the same thing as I would do. But you know, I'm expecting a little bit too much right now. He's still young. He's just beginning boxing, so I got to sell myself down. I want to sell him down, but I got to sell myself down.
Well, great words from a true legend. And if his son can get half of his accomplishments, he'll be a hell of a fighter. Back to you guys at ringside.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Had a chance to talk to Tommy before the fight, and he said, you know, sometimes when you see your seed out there, you get nervous because you know, as a former champion, I know what he's going to have to go through. And it may be even harder for him.
Yeah, and he's watching his son. I mean, we can't forget that. Tommy is working with this kid, but he's also his father.
Right now, Ronald Hearns having an excellent round. Blood coming from the nose of B.J. Johnson. And now Hearns banging the body, continuing to cut the ring off, and Johnson is slowing down. That jab is very effective for Ronald Hearns.
Well, what Ronald Hearns is right now, he's an athlete trying to become a boxer. You could tell looking at his body, his movement, his rhythm. He's a good athlete. But being a good athlete isn't always enough to be a good fighter.
And that right hand hurt Johnson, followed by a short left hook. And Johnson lucky to get out of the second round on his feet.
Get back to your jab. That works everything else.
That shot there should be closing in time.
Everything is working good off your jab.
Action from round 2. There's the right hand. I hate to say this because it's unfair to the kid, but of course if that was Tommy's right hand, the fight would be over. Can't help it though.
Right, what I noticed, Ronald Hearns doesn't throw a straight right hand like Tommy. Tommy threw a fast, straight right hand. And when Tommy hit you, you were gone.
Oh.
Hearns is averaging 30 jabs per round through 2 rounds. This is the 3rd of 4 in the middleweight division. Ronald Hearns in gold, B.J. Johnson in black. And there's the hook Tommy talked about. He wants his son to throw the hook up top. He feels that it's a very effective punch for his son. There's another left hook, followed by another left hook. Johnson landing punches as well during that exchange.
One thing that I noticed here, Ronald Hearns have good spacing. It's not too close, not too far behind. Good spacing.
Yeah, with that height, he should try to box at a distance where he can hit his opponent and his opponent can't hit him. He's got exceptional reach for a middleweight.
Nice stiff jab.
Tommy's got a lot to be proud of, not just because this kid's a young and undefeated fighter. More importantly, graduated college, went to American University, played hoops there. And a lot of fighters from my generation now have kids who are fighting. I bet you most of them have not been to college. So I give Ronald and Tommy quite a lot of credit for that.
One thing I do like about Ronald Hearns, he does a good job putting his punches together. Quite often he's giving up 2s, 3s, and even 4s. Nice jumping left hook by B.J. Williams. Landing flush on the jaw of Ronald Hearns.
Yeah, what Ronald's learning, I almost called him Tommy there. What Ronald's learning is that same thing so many young fighters have trouble with, which is incorporating defense into your offense. Right? You can see he's thinking offense all the way here. He's trying to figure out a way to land his right hand. When someone punches back at him, he doesn't know what to do. He's not reacting.
There's another stiff jab.
You see Tommy Hearns there. He looks worried.
As any father would be.
Yeah.
A lot of blood coming out of the mouth and nose of B.J. Johnson.
You can see the eyes of Tommy Hearns. He just had the intensity look, even sitting in the corner.
Ooh, another short left hook by Ronald Hearns, but Johnson comes back, doubling up his jab.
Johnson has a pretty good chin. He got hit with some nice right hands, some nice short hooks. He's taking them pretty well. Face doesn't look too good, but he's taking it pretty well.
And this is Johnson's first fight in more than 2 years. We should point that out. And the fight's only scheduled for 4. You do not have a lot of time to work the rust out.
Blood all over the face of B.J. Johnson, and he eats another left hook.
That's that spacing I was talking about.
The end of round 3.
Jab is real good. Every time they come, just a half a step back and let him miss, okay?
Nice action from Hearns in the 3rd round.
You see he stepped back to slip a punch there, but his hands were down. And that's why Ronald Hearns has gotten hit only once or twice tonight. That's a habit he's got to be careful of. Stepping back a la Ali with his hands down to slip punches. Hey, not everybody has Ali's reflexes. It's a dangerous thing to do.
Hearns has landed as many jabs, 31, as Johnson has total punches, 31. 4th and final round in the middleweight division. Ronald Hearns, the son of legendary prize fighter Tommy Hearns, as you take a look at the jabs through 3 rounds.
Lots of jabs from Ronald Hearns. It's a good thing. He's fighting tall, which he's got to do. He's 6'2", exceptional height for a middleweight.
Well, I've known Tommy Hearns for years. He believes in the jab. He thinks the jab is the most important punch. So I'm not shocked that his son has transferred that into his own style.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. And another thing is that with Emmanuel Stewart as the chief trainer of Ronald Hearns, you can be sure that despite the fact that Hearns is real tall, he won't be using a lot of lateral movement because Emmanuel is an offensive coach. And Ronald Hearns will be going at his opponent with that jab, not dancing side to side, being negative. He will be aggressive. You can be sure of that because that's the way they teach him at the Crown.
Plus Manny has dealt with many tall fighters throughout his career.
Right.
Lennox Lewis, Klitschko's, Vernon Forrest. Now he has Vivian Harris. So he's used to tall, slender guys.
There's a 3-punch combination, the uppercut getting in at the end. For Ronald Hearns, very impressive showing, especially from rounds 2 through 4. Little tentative early on, although he did win round 1 on my card. And there's the jab to the body that backs up Johnson, who switches to southpaw.
Just trying to show something different right now. Ronald looked like, he wants the knockout. A little tight with his punches. Just trying a little too hard.
There's another left hook. Another left hook backs up Johnson. That short left hook is devastating. He lands the uppercut as Johnson pulls out. Johnson in trouble. Less than a minute to go. There's a body shot.
Nice body shot. One thing I noticed, Ronald Hearns is throwing short little feints. And that's getting him closer. He threw a short little feint, and Johnson goes for it.
And that quick left hook as he pivots off the line has been very effective for Ronald Hearns.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Right hand, break it
when
off.
you're tall. Pivot. And I'm quite sure Manny, sitting in the corner looking, Manny's yelling for right hands. But the hook is working. So I guess Manny wanted to sneak right hands behind that hook.
An excellent outing for Ronald Hearns from Detroit, Michigan, the son of Tommy Hearns, the great champion, as the fight has come to an end.
After 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges Glenn Feldman, Dick Flaherty, and Tommy Kazmarek all have it scored 40-36 for the winner by way of unanimous decision, Ronald Hearns.
So a very impressive effort by Ronald Hearns. He improves to 3-0 in his young career as his dad lifts up his arms. And that is a terrific looking picture.
Love it.
Wow. And 3 of them. That's one you want to get and one you want to remember.
That's priceless. That photo right there.
The next generation. Earlier tonight, we saw Hino Ahikaminor take on Gary Gomez in a 6-round cruiserweight bout. We pick up the action in round number 5. All right, we're back. Round number 5 scheduled for 6 between Gary Gomez in the black and Hino Ahikaminor in the black and red. Gentlemen, how do you have the bout scored so far?
I have it scored 38-30, 37 in favor of Hino.
Same here. You know, you look at it and you think the body of the fight, it looks like Hino's in total control, but that 1-point deduction for low blows in round 3, I guess it was, really hurt him.
And the total punches through round 4.
Come on, yeah, Hino's been much busier, keeping up a really nice pace.
But the funny thing about it, John Davenport was screaming at him in between rounds to throw more punches. The guy threw damn near 300 punches and he won more punches.
I know.
But it would be nice to see Ahikaminor really turn over some of those hooks inside instead of slapping.
Right, it's still a learning process, I guess. Remember, Gus, most of his punches were wide. He's shortening up his punches now. The first time out, can't expect a perfect punch from him.
I really love watching the head movement by Ahikaminor against this experienced Gary Gomez. Gomez now starting to put his punches together. He looks more aggressive here in the 5th round than Ahikaminor. Gomez backing up on a straight line. There's a chopping right hand. Another right hand by Ahikaminor.
Gomez takes a pretty good punch.
He certainly does.
We've seen Hino stretch people with that punch.
I don't know. Maybe this sounds crazy. I still think Hino's making it a little harder on himself than he has to. He's not trying to box at all anymore. It's all inside fighting, and he's dominating. But I just think if he used his legs and his jab more, he might be able to control the fight without getting hit at all in return.
Delivers a straight right hand and eats a left hook at the same time. And Gomez reaching down deep for that left hook to the body behind the elbow.
And Hino looks kind of relaxed. He doesn't look like he's breathing hard.
But he is leaning forward a bit. Susceptible to an uppercut. There's that left hook again behind the elbow for Gomez. There's a quick right hand by Gomez. Better round for Gomez as he backs up now. Gomez looks fatigued though as he shakes it off. And the lead right uppercut landing for Ahikaminor.
And I think Brian made a great point earlier. You wonder why Gomez could take all these big right hands because his chin is so tucked in. It's hard to hit him on the point of the chin. You're always hitting him somewhere in the temple or top of the head.
Okay, go.
End of round 5. You're watching Broadway Boxing.
You see every punch in the book coming. You understand me? Every punch in the book, you know.
Action from round 5. Hino really throwing a lot of punches, but again, they're all on the inside, and that's where Gomez can punch back. A lot of two-way action in that 5th round.
Stay back, all the way back.
So we're ready for the 6th and final round in the cruiserweight division between Hino Ahikaminor in the black and red and Gary Gomez in the all-black trunks.
I didn't hear the bell. This is touch club.
Pretty even fight.
Listen.
And
as we head into the 6th.
And pretty even round, Gus.
Okay.
All right, we finally get it underway here, but pretty even round in the 5th because Gomez threw 74 punches as high for the fight. Let's see, he's going to need to do that again to get as much as a draw here.
But that's what we differ a little on that, Steve. I thought Hino won the last round. Started strong. Hit Gomez with some nice right hands. Took some punches, but I thought he won the round.
Oh, I thought Hino clearly won it also. The punch stat said 25-24 for Connect. Very close round, but I think Hino landed the better shots.
And Gomez saying that he was hit on the top of the head, but he keeps bending down and basically showing the top of the back of his head.
Right, and Hino is not wrong for hitting him in the top of the head. That's what he sees. He sees the target, he punches. This is a good mental test also for Hino.
Hino's doing an excellent job. Head movement, putting his punches together, pivoting. I didn't think that he was an inside fighter, but he's fought Gary Gomez and done a better job at Gomez's game.
Well, I guess if they've been working on the gym on different things, Gomez is the perfect opponent to try to execute what you've been working on. And that's short punches. He started off good first couple rounds using the jab, then he abandoned the jab.
A minute left in the final round. Cruiserweights, a Hino, a Hikaminor, a prospect, eats a three-punch combination by Gary Gomez, who steps back, now doubles and triples up the jab.
Stop.
Gomez trying to steal one here in the 6th round. Hikaminor has to get busy.
A good test. Now Hino can look at this fight and realize that he can't knock everyone out.
Gomez lands a crisp right hand on the chin of Hikaminor. And all of a sudden, Hino stopped punching here in the 6th round.
And Hino's lucky Gomez isn't a big puncher because he's gotten hit with a lot of right hands this round.
Clean.
Step back, focus, step back. Step back.
10 seconds remaining. What a finish. Gary Gomez may have stolen the 6th round. They had already taken a point away from a Hikaminor for a low blow, so this should be an interesting decision. Gomez outlanded Hino 28-9
wow.
in the 6th round.
Easy fight hard.